Alright guys, today I'll be reviewing Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a really good B&M flying coaster. Even though I'm not a big fan of flyers, I can recognize this is a really fun ride, and I'll explain why. So to start off, this is handily the best looking flyer out of the three B&Ms I've done. Now, Superman's kind of just plopped down on a grass field because it was Scream Machine before, but Tatsu, it's got the mountain and everything, but this is way above that. You've got all the interaction with the water and all the trees. You've got, that iconic shot of that fountain and the ride flying by it. The color scheme's amazing. It's by far the best looking flyer. And the queue line's fantastic for it too, because you're actually going through this aquarium and you cross a bridge to get in there. And then, you've got all the stingrays and fish in that aquarium. So, just peak theming. SeaWorld Orlando overall has some of the best presentation of any park I've ever seen, and this is no exception. So once you actually get into the station, and mind you, you're most likely never going to wait for this from my experience, because I went during February break when Busch Gardens Tampa and the two Universal parks were absolutely slammed, and everything was a walk-on here pretty much except Icebreaker, which has awful capacity, so that's why. But this was an absolute walk-on both times I went on it. And the station is pretty barren. It's nothing like the rest of the queue, but that's fine. The station's really just to get on it. So once you actually get in these trains, it's weird. It's the normal B&M vests, but you also have these leg flaps that kind of wrap around your ankles as you pull it down. And it's not really a hydraulic restraint because, it's not normal. It's ratcheting, but it's not an arrow, over-the-shoulder restraint type ratcheting. It's really hard and technical to explain. These are some of the most technical restraints you'll ever get in the industry. It's really fun to actually study how these work. But, overall, they really don't give you much room to breathe or get airtime or anything. So that sucks. But, it's a flying coaster. I understand it. I think Fly at Phantasialand looks like it does these restraints better than any other flying coaster. But, it's B&M. You got to have the vests. And I will say I did enjoy my front row ride a bit more on this, which sounds weird because you can't really get too good of a view because you're kind of facing down. But, just some of the forces hit a bit harder in the front, which is very bizarre because inverts are always back row rides for me. But this and even Tatsu I would argue is a front row ride, so try to go as close to the front as you can. But once you pull out of the station, you're gonna head up the lift hill. This is a moderate lift hill in terms of speed, really not going to be anything like Sky Rush or P305. But once you get to the top, you're gonna face what is easily the biggest con with this ride, and that is the forcelessness. And that's perfectly demonstrated by the first drop. This first drop is one of the biggest duds on any coaster, and that's the case for Tatsu and Superman Ultimate Flight. Those two don't get away with it either. They are all absolute duds. No forces, no laterals, no positives. You're not going to get any sort of airtime, nothing. This is just to pick up speed, and it really sucks. I get some people love the flying sensation, and that's enough for them, but I really couldn't care less what sort of position I'm in as long as I'm getting chucked out of my seat or pummeled with positives or thrown to the side, whatever. I want forces. I don't care that I'm flying like a stingray or whatever. I don't want to be a stingray. I like being a human. So, after that first drop, you are going to pop into easily the best moment of the ride. That's the pretzel loop. I'll admit, I still think the pretzel loops are a bit overrated, just like the bat wings. Not even just because I think they're too intense, like most people say. Just, I don't think they're as intense as some moments. Genuinely, I think the Norwegian loop on Fahrenheit has more positives than even Tatsu's pretzel loop, but this one too. I don't know. They're good. They're fun. You definitely feel it on your back. When you're going on your back, you feel the positives a lot. But, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to them. I think Flying Dinosaur will really change it up because apparently you get airtime on that pretzel loop. So that's really going to be something. I'm really hyped to get on Flying Dinosaur someday. But yeah, for now, the American ones don't really do a whole lot for me. You're going to turn to the left and then go through a zero-G roll. These zero-G rolls are actually the most surprising parts of the ride. And yeah, it's really because you get a bit of laterals through them, which I didn't really get on Tatsu or the one on Superman because, I don't know, just taking too slow profiling, something. But these ones actually dished out some laterals, so I appreciate that. You're going to keep spiraling down to the right, and again, this section could be good. It could pummel you with positives, but it just doesn't. I know Starry Sky Ripper and Flying Dinosaur probably do, but of course they're off in Asia. But yeah, for now, you have to stick with these fourthless B&M flyers that just show you the sense of flight, which, again, I recognize there's an audience for it, but it's just not me. You're going to hit another zero-G roll, which pretty much feels the same as the first, a bit of laterals and nothing else, then pop into the mid-course. This doesn't slow you down too much, so you're not going to get airtime in the back on this drop-off, but it's going to feel fast still. Then you're going to pass through that iconic shot over the water. You will get a bit wet if you sit on the unload side, which is why I want to go there, because you can really reach out and feel like you're going to touch the water. So then you're going to swoop up, hit another zero-G roll or corkscrew. These zero-G rolls all sort of feel like corkscrews just because they all feel the same and how the laterals are like dished out. It's weird, but yeah, they're fun, but they're not the greatest of all time. And then after that, you're going to turn and pop into the brakes. So that's your ride on Manta. I do like it. I do recognize flyers aren't necessarily for me. However, I do recognize its value for others, and that's why I'm going to give it a 692 out of 1,000. It's just not the greatest, most thrilling thing ever for me. I don't care that much that I'm in the flying position because it just doesn't pack in the forces like other rides. Like, even in the same park, you got Mako and Pipeline that are just leagues ahead of it. And then Kraken I'd even have ahead of it just because, again, it packs the forces, which this ride doesn't. But yeah, that's my review of Manta. What do you guys think of this ride? Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.